One thing that I know a lot of people who come on my tours ask me all the time, and I'm sure you get this as well, is, aren't we running out of space? Where else can we put monuments? You mentioned 5 memorials that are under consideration right now that have passed the legislative process, and what space is left? I mean, where do we still have that we can put a new memorial on the National Mall that makes sense?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I get that a lot too. So a big sort of changing moment in the approval of memorials was in 1986, where they passed the Commemorative Works Act, and this really formalized the process of building monuments and memorials in and around the National Mall. So after that act was passed, they actually decided that the mall eventually would be closed to further monuments. So at the moment, that is the line. They call it the reserve. So the reserve area is basically from the Capitol building, all the grass down past the Smithsonian Museums, the World War II Memorial area, down obviously to the Lincoln Memorial. So that area, as far as now, in the act says that area is closed. No more memorials are going to be built there. So instead, they've kind of started branching out. So the Martin Luther King, for example, in 2011, that's built on the Tidal Basin, which is technically off the mall, right, just to the south. The new Desert Storm Memorial, they think is going to be built at 23rd and Constitution, which is like just north of the Lincoln Memorial. So they're just outside the boundary.
Yeah, so for those who have been to the National Mall before or might be visiting soon, the Lincoln Memorial is on the far west end of the National Mall. And then just to the north is a big grassy area that really doesn't have anything on it right now. I think there might be a gift store or a refreshment stand or something like that. But it's a big empty area that you could definitely imagine being a prime spot for a memorial.
Mm-hmm. The other thing they're definitely building there is a museum for artifacts that have been left at the Vietnam Wall. So there's going to be stuff built there. So that's where Desert Storm Memorial is going to hopefully go. They're still in the last approval phases of site selection. Then the Eisenhower Memorial is being built just south of the Air and Space Museum, so also off the mall in a sort of triangular park. And then the World War I Memorial is probably being built in Pershing Park, which is also off the mall, kind of near the White House, across the street from the Willard Hotel, if anyone knows where that is.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one because World War I, as far as America's wars go, was a lot longer ago than the wars that we actually do have memorials for. And as of right now, in 2018, there are no living World War I vets. So there really isn't a group of folks who are asking Congress to do this right now. And there's been a lot of delays with that project as well.
Yeah, that one has been so tumultuous. It's been in the works for years and years. And the person who won that, also in anonymous contest, was actually a 25-year-old guy, an intern. And his design has had to change so much to accommodate the critique of the review board. The review board, by the way, is made up of 7 entities. So there are a lot of approvals to go through. There's the Park Service, of course, the Historic Preservation Board, the National Capitol Memorial Advisory Committee, the Commission of Fine Arts. There's a lot of people to make happy. And this one is particularly tumultuous because the architect of Pershing Park is also kind of agitating against making a lot of changes to the park that he designed, I think back in the 80s. I'm not sure the date. But they're trying to incorporate kind of the old design and the new design together. And when you get architects together, nothing good happens.
Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast highlight. This is just a small piece of the entire episode. So if you want to hear the whole thing, you can search for Trip Hacks DC in your favorite podcast app. Or head on over to triphacksdc.com/podcast. If you like getting these clips, make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking or tapping on the Trip Hacks DC logo, which is popping up right now at the bottom of the screen. If you want to watch another clip, go ahead and click or tap up here. Or for Washington, D.C. tips and hacks videos from the main channel, go ahead and click or tap right down here. Enjoy your trip!